Hey, black boy. Just waiting for a couple of more people to enter the room. Hey, reflection. Just a few people just outside, grounding, sitting on the grass. Hey, Zakaya Exalted. Did I say your name right? Forgive me. Peace and love. Yes. Always radiate peace and love. I got 4 of you in the room. That's enough to have a conversation. I'm looking at myself and I can't believe I have dreads. Like, it's been about 2 months and my hair's already locking up. What's happening, New Growth 76? Yeah, I'm just looking at my hair, like, because I never look in the mirror anymore. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I have dreads. Okay, but this is not what this video is about. I've been thinking about obstacles and what is the meaning of obstacles in our existence. And I wanted to ask you, my reflection, how do you deal with obstacles? When you're faced with obstacles, like, what do you do? How do you think? When something is happening in your life and you feel like you have no control over it, like, what do you do? Like, what is your first thought when you are faced with a blockage? Because that's all an obstacle is. It's a hindrance and it's a blockage on your path. So I know if I'm sitting here thinking and meditating on that word, I know that my reflection is also thinking about that word as well, and deal with it on your journey. So if anybody would like to share how they deal with obstacles and their perception of it, I would love for you to share. Because like lately, I've been dealing with obstacles, especially with me wanting to continue to expand on this journey. It's not always going to be a bed of roses. Well, that's how my perception looks at it. There's always going to be road blockages. Like, if you think about when you're in a car and you're driving, there's always, or sometimes there's a detour. But when there's a detour on the road, what do? You sit there and wait, and then you see what the next direction is going to be. So how come we can't look at our lives like that? When we have obstacles in our lives, whatever the situation is, why can't we just sit there and look and then find the next detour? Like, when we're in the road, we don't get upset, we don't victimize ourselves, we don't point the finger, we just look for the next detour and go the other way. And so that's how in our lives, when you're dealing with something in your life, just look for the detour. And the detour is your thoughts. The detour is your perception of the obstacle, because you are the creator of your reality. You are God, whether if you want to admit it or not. And we don't even have to use the word God, because the word God is so polluted and everyone has their own idea of what God is. Let's just say we are the creators of our existence. Like, whatever we think about, however we feel, that's what the reality of things are going to be for us. I can sit here and tell you something is blue, but if you feel in your heart that it's red, there is nothing that I can do about that because it's your perception. So what I would like to introduce to your perception is how to deal with obstacles. Because sometimes you might be in a situation to where you may not be able to just walk away because you don't like the way it feels, or you feel like you're in a bad situation, or you feel like there's something in front of you that is blocking you from getting to where you need to be. Well, I'm speaking in terms of mental, not like the example when you're in a car and you're looking for the detour, but in a way, that's exactly what it is. Find the detour in the situation that you are in. Just let it be, and then find a detour. And the way that you find a detour is by changing your thoughts, changing your perception. So sometimes when you're feeling negative, isn't it annoying when people tell you, you need to be positive, you need to be positive all the time, you need to always look on the bright side of things? Well, when you're in the situation, being positive sucks. Like, no, I don't want to be positive about this. I really feel the way that I feel about this. I really think the way that I think about this. And sometimes trying to get to negativity to positive, that's a big stretch. You have it here all the way to here. And sometimes you can't look at things positive all the time. But what you can do in a situation is find the relief in where you are in the situation. Sometimes just the relief that, you know what, I may not feel good about this right now, but it's okay. I may be beating myself up about this situation right now, but it's okay. This is where I am. This is how I feel, and it's okay. You know, right now, I just want things to be easy. Right now, I'm not happy, but I just want things to ease and flow. And I know eventually I will be happy. I know eventually things will work out. But right now, it doesn't feel like it. But it's okay that it doesn't feel like it. It's okay. I will be fine. And when you get like that, just take a nap. Just go ahead and take a nap. Or if you feel that way, listen to music. But don't force yourself to get to a place that you know mentally and vibrationally you're not there, because you may think that you're being a deliberate creator when you're just pretending to be happy, or you're pretending, to be positive. But to be a deliberate creator of your life is always being present with the situation and accepting things the way that it is, and then allowing yourself to create at that moment, at that stance. That's what it means to be a deliberate creator of your life. Don't pretend, don't walk around that things are okay when they're not, but at the same time, don't go around trying to get other people to be a sounding board for your problems too, because you're letting off that bad energy and then you're putting that energy on someone else. If you don't feel good, just say, you know what, I don't feel good today and I don't want to be bothered and I don't want to put it out on you, and nobody has to listen to my problems. So I'm gonna go over here and tend to my frequency and to my vibration. And when I can let out a more conducive vibration, then that's when I'll come back to you. But for now, I just need to chill. I just need to get myself back together again. And a lot of people are too afraid to just be selfish, and tend to themselves. Nothing's wrong with reflection, nothing at all, because the way that I look, one with nature said, what's wrong with reflection? The way that I look at my life, nothing is ever wrong and nothing is ever right, because I created it. I'm the creator of my life. So when things come on my path that I may look at as an obstacle, I'd be like, okay, I put that there, so obviously it's time for me to learn something. Obviously it's time for me to have a clarifying moment. Because don't you love the way clarity feels? Don't you love when you get a great idea? Don't you love when you get a new perspective on something that you didn't have before? Well, that's where obstacles come into place. That's where contrast comes into place, because it allows you to expand and come to a higher levels of consciousness. So that's why I say nothing's wrong, because everything is always a learning and expanding experience if you decide to allow your perception to look at it that way. And that's what I do. But then sometimes my thoughts can get carried away, and I might feel like I'm a victim, or I may feel like I'm sad about something, but I don't beat myself up about it. I know these are just my thoughts that I'm projecting about this situation. How can I look at it differently? If I can't look at it in a positive way, then obviously I need to just find a relief in the ease of where I am in this. And be like, you know what? Right now, it's not the time for me to do anything. So I'm not going to force myself to do nothing that I'm not physically or mentally able to do. So I wanted to, open others' minds to that, because I understand my reflection. I understand my reflections out there that feels trapped, or they feel like there's something more, but they don't know what to do, or they feel the situation that they're in sucks, But if you can just change your perception, if you can just change your thoughts and open yourself with a new way of looking at things, then that's when you will receive higher levels of knowledge, and you will receive, more power within where you are. Because no one is not doing anything to you that you did not create. I'll let that sit with you for a minute. No one cannot do anything to you that you did not create. You see? Shelly Belly said people need to support people more on their journey instead of everything being money, money, money. Well, in this realm that we've created, money is a necessity of how to get things, how to be mobile, but at the end of the day, instead of looking for the support in others or needing that validation, just have that validation within yourself. Support yourself. And when you start exuding that energy out, people that resonate with you will come. People will be like, wow, this person, she's confident, she's powerful, she knows who she is. People gravitate to that. People gravitate to those that are a little cocky. I'll use that word cocky because I don't look at it as a bad word. Or confident, or sure, or knowing. People gravitate to those beings. People do not gravitate to those with their hand out. Because at the end of the day, we were created to be selfish. You are here to focus on yourself. But the problem is everybody is so focused on what everybody else is doing, they forget about themselves, and then they feel inadequate and think somebody's supposed to do something for them. But in reality, you're supposed to be doing it for yourself. So when you start knowing who you are and being more sure and being more knowing and being more allowing, then you will be of service to someone else. But until you get that point, you're just another rock in someone's shoe. So that's why I tell people on my reflection, be selfish. Be selfish. Care about how you feel. Because if you feel shitty, you have nothing to give because you feel shitty. But when you feel sure, when your mind is open, when things just seem to be going right for you, when you just have the answers to everything, it's like your heart is big and you just want to give. You just want to be there for people because you want to transfer that good, pure energy light to others. But then also when you feel the opposite of that, you want to transfer that shitty light to others. Look, I can't see. Cocky is confidence. Yeah. Cocky is confidence. Shoot. The sun is beaming, so I can't. Yeah. So that's why I just wanted to come on here today to just put out some positive, fun energy to anyone that, may feel the opposite of that. Because I know how the perception of life can get you down. Because the struggle is within. The struggle is all in your mind. Shoot, them thoughts can go all over the place, and you feel like you're going crazy. Can y'all see me? Because I can't see me. Oh, okay. I had to turn. Okay, let's see. One with Nature said, what's that you singing the chorus on Feel So? Oh no, that's not me. That's not me on Feel So Good. That is Nature Girl Mocha. Yeah, that's her singing. Yeah, that's a beautiful song. Hey Townsend. Hey, I am Azul. But yeah, I just really wanted to just touch on the word obstacle, because the words that we use are very important. Like in this realm that we're in, the way that we create is through words. It's through emotions, because what are our emotions? Emotions are thoughts. So to be able to manifest and have the life that you want and be the person that you want, you have to know these things. You have to know that what you are feeling is really what you're thinking. So if you want to feel differently, just change your thoughts. But then don't beat yourself up because maybe you can't come up with a positive thought. Just be like, right now I don't feel positive, and it's okay. Right now I don't feel like smiling, and it's okay. But right now, I'm just going to be more kind to myself. Right now, I'm just going to love myself. Right now, I'm just going to give myself a hug, and that's it. And then later on, maybe I'll be happy again. Later on, maybe I'll be positive. But right now, I just want to feel better. So until you can change your perception on what obstacles are, you just sometimes got to find the relief in where you are. Because obstacles, there's nothing good or bad in this reality. There's nothing good or bad. How can something be good or bad? Well, based on someone else's perception of whether or not something is good or bad, because somebody might like something and the other person may not. So that means because that person didn't like it, that means it's not good? No. It's your perception. It's your preference. So stop looking at life in a good or bad stance. Like, you're not a good person and you're not a bad person. You are a person. That's it. You made that choice in your life because you've made that choice in your life. You like doing this because you like doing it. But what we want to do, we want to add a story to whatever it is that we're doing, instead of just accepting things for what it is. Because when you start adding on stories to something, that's when it gets confusion. That's when you get confused. And that's when you start self-analyzing yourself where you don't need to be. When you just allow and accept things and keep it moving. Okay, what's that person's? Hi Bivin says, I have to constantly do this. I figured I was alone or depressed, but I realized I wasn't, and that we all go through this. I still daily have to switch my mind state, but the more I do it, the easier it is. Exactly. The more you do that, the easier it is. You might feel depressed today, but don't beat yourself up for being depressed. Just be like, hey, I'm depressed today. I think I'll go take a nap. Maybe I won't be depressed later. Just don't put guilt in your life. And I think that's what it is that we're told that we have to be this way to be successful or to be this good person. We have to act a certain way just to fit in a box or to please another person. When here, you are here as a human to have your own experience, have your own thoughts, make your own choices. You know? So don't worry about what others think. Like daily, I have to tell this to myself daily. Don't worry about what others think, because all it is thoughts being projected to you. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything at all. It's just thoughts. The world is okay. And even with yourself, the worst critic is yourself. It's not the reflections that you see. It's that reflection you see in the mirror. You are your worst critic. You know, you look at your hair, you look at your skin, you look at your outfit, you know, and you're so self-critical of yourself. You know what I mean? And so when I was in a position, when I was in Costa Rica, and when none of that shit mattered, you know, I didn't comb my hair, I didn't even wear clothes. And it was just like, that's when I realized a lot of this materialistic shit or this vanity, it means absolutely nothing, because when you can purely love yourself for who you are in your skin, nothing matters. Like, no one can't tell you anything, because I'm like, I look good because I'm accepted myself. I don't have makeup on, you know. I wear my hair natural, you know, and I feel more attractive than I ever done before, because I'm taking care of myself. I love myself. I eat foods that, you know, give me light and energy and don't deplete me, you know. So when I let go of a lot of that materialistic shit that I thought would make me more attractive, I just became even more attractive, you know. And I'm attractive because I say I'm attractive, not because I need validation from anyone else. No, I'm not. No, one with nature. No, I'm not in Costa Rica anymore. You must not be watching my videos. I haven't been in Costa Rica about 3 weeks. Yeah. Would you say why I left? It was time. It was time for me to. It was my time to go. And when I tell people that, they be like, "Well, I know that. Why am I gonna add a story to it?" You know what I mean? I'm not going to add a story, because when something happens, just accept that it happens. Don't be like, well, the reason why I'm not there no more because this and because of that, because then if you ask another person, they will have a whole nother perception. You know? So that's why I say I'm not in Costa Rica anymore, because I'm not in Costa Rica anymore. It was time for me to go. Because if it wasn't time for me to go, I'd still be there. You know? I learned, don't complicate shit. Be like, all right then, all right, holla. Like, okay, that's it. Now what? You know, now what? That's how I look at stuff. Like, okay, now what? You know? So just remember to take life easy. Easy come, easy go. You are the creator of your reality, of your existence. You create your life. No one is not stopping you from doing anything you don't want to do. It's all in your perception. Believe it. If you believe the government's holding you back, if you believe the white man is holding you back, if you believe the color of your skin is holding you back, then it is. And it's nothing that anyone can tell you until you decide that nothing holds you back. You can do what the fuck you want to do in your life, and then you show people that you can do it. Ask me how I know. Okay, before I go, I'm going to read a couple more comments. He Does the Most said, I was going to go, but he don't seem to be the person that he perceived himself to be. And if that's your perception, he does the most, then don't go. Like, if you feel that way, you made the best choice for yourself. Because if you make a choice, you want to be open, you want to be sure, and you want to do it in your best interest. And if you feel that way, you made the right choice for not going. Let's see. Oh, you want to go to Ghana with your cousin? Oh. Yeah. So the state I'm in now, one with nature, is the state of consciousness. That's the state I'm in. The state of pure joy, the state of all knowing, the state of allowing. That's where I am. When you look up in the sky, you will see me. When you look in the mirror, you will see me because I'm your reflection. Exactly, Bernadette Jackson. It is whatever you say it is. So we try to make this life complicating, and it's not. Whatever you say goes, then that's what will go. You know what I'm saying? He does the most. I gave you an answer, and that still ain't good enough for you. But it's all good. Yeah. So I'm about to get off of here and just chill out. Probably eat some watermelon and just see what happens. All right. Peace, love, and light. Take care of yourself.